Have you ever wondered why some people regret the person they married, whilst others enjoy a peaceful and fulfilling marriage? The decision of whom you marry is one of the most important choices you will ever make. In this video, we will help you with 8 things, 8 biblical principles that will help you to choose wisely, because it is better to break a relationship than to break an engagement. And it is better to break an engagement than to break a marriage. You think I'm the one saying it? Let's listen.
That it's better to break a relationship than to break an engagement. It's better to break an engagement than to break a marriage.
Welcome to our Mod Marriage series. This is a book written by Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, a founder of Lighthouse. This book has helped a lot of marriages. A lot of pastors use this book to counsel marriages. So in today's video, we are tackling chapter 1 of the book. We are having discussion over there. In this book, chapter 1 talks about beloved, your life partner. It started until when you get married, everything. Just stay with me. We are taking this series one after the other. After this chapter 1, I'll make sure I bring chapter 2. So please make sure you stay tuned, because in this book you will find out that marriage is not just about finding someone you love. It is about choosing someone with whom you can build a godly and lasting future. Many people choose spouse based only on emotions, appearance, or pressure from others. But the Bible encourages us to seek wisdom, because sometimes our choices we make in this life have lifelong consequences that we continue dealing with. So let's look at the 8 things to consider when choosing a beloved, when choosing a life partner, according to the book, chapter 1. The first thing to consider when choosing a beloved, when choosing a life partner, is the fact that the parents are good. Does not mean the child will also be a good spouse. Hallelujah. You have to find out, is he or she committed to God? You need to look beyond the family reputation. Look at her personal faith. Coming from a respected or a godly family is a blessing, but it doesn't automatically mean someone will be a good husband or a good wife. The most important question you need to ask yourself is, does this person have a good or a genuine relationship with God? A person's own faith, character, and obedience to God matters more than their family background, more than where the person is coming from. You need to ask yourself if this person is growing spiritually, or if this person is showing Christ-like character. Not because the parents are good, automatically you assume the man or the woman will be good for me. You have not seen pastors' daughters in the club. You have not seen pastors' children astray before. What's in the eyes of their parents, they are good people. But what they does behind them, they don't know. You have not seen any people like that before. You have not seen people who marry from the church, who marry people who are calling themselves Christian, go to church every day, they worship God, they go to the altar. You have not seen people who marry those kind of people and they suffer the most. Some of them, I'm not saying all. So you need to consider that. The next thing you need to consider is, don't marry because your parents say so. You have to find out, is your intended partner your friend? You have to marry someone who is also your friend, because a successful marriage is built on more than romance. Friendship creates trust, understanding, and companionship. You need to ask yourself, this my intended partner, can we talk freely? Can we talk openly? Do we enjoy spending time together? Do we respect each other? Because sometimes strong friendships often become strong marriages. That is why a lot of people have been saying it is better to marry whom you know. It is better to marry your friend. Get to know the person. Become friend with the person before you propose marriage. The next thing you need to consider is, if you marry early, you will miss out on certain things in life. For example, your youth, your time of being single and free, you miss out on these things. You have to bear it in mind. And that doesn't mean you should not even marry as well. So what I think is, don't rush into marriage before you are ready. You need to be ready mentally, physically, spiritually, everything before. Because marriage is a lifelong commitment. So it is wise you grow emotionally, spiritually, and practically before making such an important decision. in your life. When we say being ready, doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but it means understanding the responsibilities that comes with marriage. You have to understand those things. It is not just about you planning the wedding, you planning for the photo shoots, you planning for the event center, for the food. Taking your time to plan for this thing means you are ready. Or because you have saved a lot of money and this money you have allocated it for your marriage. Because of that, you are ready. No. You have to understand the responsibilities that comes with marriage. It's not just about you planning the wedding. A lot of us, we waste time on planning the wedding than wasting time on what is going to come out from that marriage. We don't think about that. On planning our own life, am I ready for it? You don't plan for it. Hallelujah. The next you need to consider is consider the fact that people do not really change. And so anything that you do not like about your beloved, your lifetime partner, and therefore spouse is also not likely to change. It is not going to change overnight. In other words, he is saying don't expect marriage to completely change someone overnight. It is natural for people to grow, but marriage is not a guarantee that someone's habits or behavior or character will suddenly become different, because it is a seesaw. What you are seeing now is what you are going to sow.
So if you see that you are quarreling a lot in a relationship, you should know that it will continue into the marriage. Because it's a seesaw. What you saw is what you see. And what you see is what you saw. It's a seesaw.
So if there are serious issues before marriage, don't assume they will disappear after the wedding. When you go for your honeymoon or when you are enjoying, those issues will disappear. Let me just close my mind on this. When I get married to her, finish. When we are married, things will change. She will change. He will change. They don't change like that. You need to pay attention to consistent patterns of behavior. Before they will tell you that you have seen me like this before you got married to me. You can't change me overnight. You can't tell me to change. You saw me like this. This is what I wear. You can't change me now. So if you don't like it, you address it. If it is not something for you, you go for the one you want. Another thing you need to consider when choosing a life partner, when choosing a beloved, is will you be in a position to manage financially? Period. Hallelujah. Okay. You need to consider financial readiness. Are you ready financially? Life is important, but wisdom also involves planning. You need to plan your life. You need to discuss topics such as employment, budgeting, saving, and managing expenses. But you need to get this clearly. Financial challenges do not prevent good marriage, but honesty and planning can reduce unnecessary stress. If you can budget very well, you can plan very well, you can save very well, everybody can get job and be doing. This can save you a lot of stress, some unnecessary stress. So this is one of an important thing you need to consider to my own point of view. Not just planning, just saving for the marriage. Then after the marriage, what next? Are you not going to stay together? You are not going to provide for your children's school fees, hospital bills. So this is the one thing you need to consider. Whether if you can manage financially, you can plan how you are going to save, how you are going to manage your expenses. These are some of the things you need to consider the most, not just saving for the marriage. Think about after the marriage as well. Another thing you need to consider when choosing a beloved or a life partner is, will you have a place to stay when you married? You need to think about your living arrangements. Where will you live? Where will you stay after marriage? Because a stable home, whether you rent it or you own it, helps couples begin their lives together with greater peace and organization. Just planning ahead shows responsibility. You have not rented an apartment. You have not owned your own house. You are still living with your parents, but you are already thinking, I want to get married. Are you sure you are ready for that? Where are you going to stay with your partner? Will you get married finished? Then you are not looking for money to go and rent. How many bedrooms? When you start giving birth, what next? You need to plan. I'm not saying it cannot happen, but it is a plan. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to own your own house before marrying, but you need to get an apartment where both of you can stay when you start giving birth. It can accommodate all of you. Then you rent it. Then you know you have succeeded in getting a place where you both will stay before proceeding to the marriage. Am I saying your mind? That's what I think. Because as you are single right now, and you are just in single room self-contained or chamber and hall self-contained. Now you have gotten married, you have given birth. Where will your children stay? Where will they be sleeping to be stressed? Where will a visitor who is coming to visit you stay? That's why you now be suffering. Because immediately you marry, there are a lot of responsibility that will be coming your way. So please, you need to plan ahead. It doesn't mean you need to have a lot of money or you need to have your own house. If you have it, it's a plus. Another thing you need to consider when choosing your life partner, the book said, beloved, is you have to know that tribal differences are going to affect your marriage. So you need to understand culture and family differences. Different tribes, cultures, or family tradition can enrich a marriage, but they can also create misunderstanding if they are never discussed. You need to talk openly about family expectations, traditions, language, bringing up a child, and celebrations. And you have to know mutual respect is key. You don't look down on your wife's family background. You don't look down on your wife's family culture or their expectation or their tradition. You have to know, this is the family I'm going in, or this is the tribe I want to marry from. Am I in for their culture, their tradition? Can I enjoy it? Looking at it, their language, this and this. You need to consider all this. Can I respect their culture? You have to know all this before it doesn't destroy your own marriage. Because you not get married into the family finish. When they say you should go and bring this for ritual, when you should do this, when you should go for this celebration, when you should attend this, when you should contribute money for something, then you say, hey, is it only your family? I'm not cut off for that. I can't do it. No. You are already in it. So sometimes tribal differences can either destroy your marriage or it can enrich it for you. The last but not the least things you need to consider when choosing a beloved, when choosing a lifetime partner, is disparity in levels of education will also affect your marriage. So you need to discuss education and future goals. Different educational backgrounds don't automatically prevent a successful marriage, but differences in expectations, communication styles, or long-term goals should be discussed honestly. You need to ask questions like, what are your dreams? Do we support each other's growth? How will we make important decisions together? Because shared vision strengthens unity. So you need to discuss it so that you don't get into it. When she wants to pick a profession, then you say you are not comfortable with that profession. I'm not comfortable with that job, so you need to quit. No, she was doing the job before you came. If you don't like it, you go for someone's own that you like. These are the unnecessary dramas we bring into marriages. When you were dating the person, there was no problem. You were okay with it. Why then the marriage changing everything? Why then the dramas are coming up? We cause it ourselves. We can still be dating our partners. So guys, you need to choose a spouse based on a godly character. Build a relationship that includes a genuine friendship. And remember, don't rush into marriage. Pay attention to consistent character. Be honest about your finances and future plans. Discuss practical matters before marriage and respect cultural differences. And make sure you develop a shared vision for the future. So choosing a spouse is one of the most important decisions you ever make. So you need to pray for wisdom. You need to seek godly counsel. And take your time to know the person's character. If you take a wise decision before marriage, it can lay the foundation for strong and lasting home. So guys, if this video bless you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who is preparing for marriage. And in the next video, we'll continue with our Mode Marriage series with another important lesson. And I'm not sure you want to miss it. So please stay tuned, subscribe, like, and comment. Let's share point of view in the comment section. All these points that I've mentioned, they are from the book. If you want the book, if you want the soft copy, please you can download it so that you follow the step-by-step series as we are discussing on this channel. I'll be saying it, we all don't know. We are all here to learn. So make sure you leave your point of view in the comment section. Till I see you in my next video, stay blessed. Bye.